Peep Kenobi urges you to like this video and subscribe or he will lose the high ground. Buzz Lightyear reaching infinity and beyond. Thanks, I hate Elon Musk and 1% the rich. It's been 9 years since Elon Musk had this photo permanently removed from the internet forever. Thanks, I hate 1950s meal. The 1950s were a lawless hellscape. Tuna and waffles. Blend Icon Campbell's cream of mushroom soup with 1/2 cup milk, 1 cup drained flake tuna 7 ounces can, and 1/4 cup sliced stuffed olives. Heat through ugly pour over 4 crisp waffles. Presto. A quick and easy dinner for 4. Thanks, I hate eels. When an eel has a maw with a pharyngeal jaw, that's a moray. Moray eel. Pharyngeal jaw. When the jaws open wide and there's more jaws inside, that's moray. When it sulks in a reef and has 2 sets of teeth, that's moray. When an eel bites your thigh and you bleed out and die, that's a moray. Thanks, I hate it. No one. Some guy. Thanks, I hate these Christmas cards. Finally peace on earth. Finally peace on earth. Finally peace on earth. Thanks, I hate Cram Santa. 2.2 trillion crams. Cram sled. Cram deer. It's too much cram. Thanks, I hate Angelina Bassimi / Steve Jolly. One of these people is regarded as one of the most attractive in the world and the other as one of the least. But for one brief, shining moment, they looked exactly alike. Thanks, I hate people who abandon their kitties. Last year I found a new home. Every day was fun. So many good memories. Thanks, I hate the news. The reality star eats a variety of spicy foods that help her pass gas in order to keep up with the demand of her dart in a jar hustle. 90 Day Fiancé star makes $45,000 a week selling her darts. Thanks, I hate it. You'll skip arm day. Can't relate. 1 paper cut and he dead. Thanks, I hate late update patches for my cinematic releases. VFX artists are still working on Cats, even though the film is already out in theaters. Universal is replacing the current version in theaters with a new version that contains improved visual effects. Thanks, I hate half-shaved cat. I made a mistake. She won't let me clip anymore. Will I be arrested? Thanks, I hate this toilet seat. Company creates smooth ring toilet seat that changes color based on the mood of your bed. Thanks, I hate this tradition. In the Welsh Christmas tradition of Merry Lwyd, a horse skull visits your home singing rhymes outside your door. That's not even the best part. The person inside needs to sing back with excuses while Lwyd can't come in. It goes back and forth until one gives up. If the person in the house can't respond, they let Lwyd, and it gets to raid your pantry and drink all your beer. So you're at battling a skeleton horse to keep all your alcohol, and here I thought the Welsh had nothing to offer besides consonant. Thanks, I hate this cup. Thanks, I hate the early 2000s. The early 2000s were a lawless wasteland. Thanks, I hate spider pants. If a spider wore pants, would it wear them? Like this, or like this? Thanks, I hate renaming things to be more digestible. Heads up. They've come up with a new buzzword to describe desperately working multiple jobs to survive. New study shows millennials Gen Zers prefer to polywork. Polyworking the new job trend graduates are gunning for. The job jungle Gen Z and millennial employees embrace the concept of polywork. I left my executive job at Uber to embrace polywork. I'm now a consultant, real estate investor, entrepreneur, and MBA student, and have never been happier or made more money. Thanks, I hate horse skating. Have you ever ridden a horse? That's not how you're rid. Hey, frickin' shut. Thanks, I hate the ending. All we have is put the magic hat on. Hello, children. Thanks, I hate watching the wrong version of Jack Frost. Man, I really miss watching these 2 tapes at Blockbuster. Thanks, I hate mascots. Mr. Testicular. Brazil's auntie aunt's a mascot. There are no words for this. Thanks. I have a dish full of Pong playing brain cells. Yes, you read far right. Human brain cells in a dish. Learn to play Pong faster than an AI. Hundreds of thousands of brain cells in a dish are being taught to play Pong, be responding to pulses of electricity, and can improve their performance more quickly than an AI can. Ah, sweet. Man-made. Horrors beyond my comprehension. Thanks. I hate and love this. I regularly get asked if a turtle is a vertebrate. Yes. And I think the confusion stems from folks thinking shell is like a crab's or snail's. Fun fact, the turtle shell is modified ribs. Thanks. I hated creepy ace holiday questions. A gingerbread man sits inside a gingerbread house. Is the house made of flesh? Or is he made of house? He screams. For he does not know. Thanks. I hate this bathroom. Located at a bar in Shinjuku, Japan. There is a bathroom with a giant head located in front of the toilet. Activated by the pressure from the seat, the face sings a strange drunken tune and slowly moves towards you, making the room smaller. Thanks. I hate science. In reality, plants are actually farming us by giving us oxygen daily until we all eventually decompose so they can consume us. Thanks. I hate Calvin and Hobbes. Wow. You're working on your report already. It's not due until Thursday. Yeah, I know. Mom says the pills I'm taking are starting to work. I thought we could go outside and play It's Snowing. Calvin. What? Oh sorry, I wasn't listening. Look, I really have to finish this. Thanks. I hate the 6 days of sin. If Santa keeps track of naughty kids every year, and the year doesn't start until January 1st, that leaves 6 days after Christmas and New Year's left undocumented, so nothing you do can be held against you. Thanks. I hate whoever wrote this. BBSM. Bible discussion. Study meeting. Friend. Hey, want to do some BBSM? Me. Sure. I love Jesus. Thanks. I hate glass coffin. Glass coffins. Will they be popular? Remains to be seen. Thanks. I hate how expensive these glasses are. Gucci. Inverted cat eye sunglasses. $755. Thanks. I hate passive aggressive Joseph. Mom. Where do babies come from? Yeah Mary, where do babies come from? Thanks. I hate this Pokemon outfit. Thanks. I hate Christmas dinner in a can. Game Christmas dinner. Scrambled egg and bacon. 2 mince pies. Turkey and potatoes. Gravy. Bread sauce. Cranberry sauce. Brussels sprouts with stuffing. Or broccoli with stuffing. Roast carrots and parsnips. Christmas pudding. Thanks. I hate Comic Serif. Does Comic Sans imply the existence of Comic Serif? Comic Sans. Comic Serif. Thanks. I hate DOM woofer. The existence of a subwoofer implies the existence of a DOM woofer. Thanks. I hate my stomach. When you taking a shower and your stomach start bubbling. Thanks. I hate toothpaste. I was wondering why the toothpaste tasted so weird. Cortisone 10. Ultra moisturizing. Thanks. I hate tangled veins. Thanks. I hate my new fear. Deep dark fears. In science class, I learned that I had 3 layers of skin. When I skinned my knee, I knew I only had 2 more slips before I hit bone. Thanks. I hate Ariana Gandhi. Thanks. I hate this time of the year. It's that time of year again. Warm scrambled egg. Take 1 bag of Sprite. Thanks. I hate new and disturbing information. Your dingers have dinger tips, but your toes don't have toe tips. Yet you can tiptoe, but not tip dinger. Thanks. I hate Taco Bell. Pro tip. You can have your Taco Bell meal twice. Thanks. I hate Elijah Dawes. Come on baby, light my shire. Thanks. I hate ineffective utensils. Thanks. I hate this sign. Gynecology restaurant. Taco Tuesday is only weird if you make it weird. Thanks, I hate washing my hands. Whoops, almost forgot. Employees must wash hands before returning to work. Don't forget to scrub mean schneedle. Shut the duck up, Hans. Thanks, I hate Homer Flanders and Ned Simpson. Thanks, I hate lockdowns. How to feel less alone in lockdown. Fill some gloves with sand or warm meat and wrap them around yourself to make it feel like someone is holding you and you are not a lonely mess. I have longed for your touch. Thanks, I hate contemplation. Thanks, I hate the human meatball self. If you blended all 7.88 billion people on Earth into a fine goo, density of a human is equal to 985 kg per cubic meter. Average human body mass is 62 kg. You would end up with a sphere of human goo just under 1 kilometer wide. I made a visualization of how that would look like in the middle of Central Park in New York City. Thanks, I hate this plushy tiger. Thanks, I hate the Netflix version of Super Mario Bros. The movie. Mama mia, how did you find me, Mario? For every life you've squashed under your boot, I will take a pound of your flesh. Thanks, I hate biblically accurate Ahegao angel. Thanks, I hate Adam Driver. Adam Driver advertising for a perfume remind me of something. Thanks, I hate regrets. Eternally I walk this plane of reality, trapped in between the living and the dead. Seaside was supposed to give me clarity, not leave you with a dented bedspread. All your memories of me become a photo. Your faith and sanity slowly fade. I only wish I could touch you or show how sorry I'm for the pain I made. Thanks, I hate the Powerpuff Girls. Thanks, I hate Chan Chan Mart's collection. Thanks, I hate carpeted bathrooms. Thanks, I hate Han Solo and Leia cosplay. Thanks, I hate human Christmas trees. Yai. Thanks, I hate the gazpacho. Don't eat the forbidden soup. Thanks, I hate Santa. Thanks, I hate flaccid teeth. What if your teeth were naturally flaccid and got hard when you got hungry? Thanks, I hate Gatorade foot. Thanks, I hate eyes in my ace. My hemorrhoid watching me eat another sloppy joe. Thanks, I hate Santa. Mommy, how can Santa tell if I've been good or naughty? Because Santa is magic. Is it also how he can deliver all the presents? Yes, sweetie, good night. Best, I'm always watching. Always with you. Thanks, I hate Findominus. New concept. Femdominos. Goth mommy girl delivers your pizza and tortures your cook and balls for the tip. Findominus. I can't find a face on Google Images defeated enough to reply to whatever the duck you just said. Thanks, I hate surprise. When you ask Santa for a Lambo, but Lamborghini makes tractors too. Thanks, I hate overthinking sculptures. Overthinking. This onion won't make me cry. More people speak Klingon than Navajo. Merry Christmas from N people back. Thanks, I hate alternate universe. Thanks, I hate and love this. Thanks, I hate evolved dinosaurs. Thanks, I hate alien Pikachu. I had to see these photos of somebody putting their Sphinx cat in a wig and dress, and now so do you. Thanks, I hate kindness. Thanks, I hate Gumball now. Thanks, I hate Comboin. Comboin is a piece of kelp in a bikini who promotes kombu seaweed from Kushiro City, Japan. Thanks, I hate Hijama. Thanks, I hate Amagus gingerbread. no more unknown chemicals in my food. I'm growing my own vegetables and cooking them in my home. Finally taking charge of my health. Thanks. I hate the Berenstain Bears from the front. Climb any hills. Go over Niagara Falls on a log. Thanks. I hate human feet shaped slippers. Sonic the Hedgehog cake. Thanks. I hate socks over pants. Thanks. I hate camel 2 boots. Thanks. I hate the Sheetles. Thanks. I hate extra protein. Thanks. I hate this kid's toy. Thanks. I hate this ugly sweater. Thanks. I hate this illustration. Thanks. I hate Thick Moon Lord. Thanks. I hate Cheese Man. Thanks. I hate shorts. Thanks. I hate Face App Abe Lincoln. Thanks. I hate Kamal Flow. Not sure what to call this. Camulet or Malaflage. Thanks. I hate Awasashi. Thanks. I hate ear piercings. Thanks. I hate this Christmas ornament of a rat doing blow. Thanks. I hate tooth nails. Thanks. I hate fantasy turning into reality. Home Alone 2's Brenda Fricker says Christmas is hard for her. I'm old and live alone. Thanks. I hate Eldritch Scooby. Shaggy and his hellhound. Shaggy please. We gave you all the Scooby snacks we had. Silence. Brother Frederick. Now is not the time to be covetous. Thanks. I hate teeth lighter. Did you know that you can buy fake teeth online and just glue them to whatever the hell you want? Thanks. I hate Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm so sad. Please send cute picture of your credit card. Thanks. I hate Original Pooh and Friends. Thanks. I hate washing glove. Thanks. I hate unmasked Gundams. Thanks. I hate long Furby. Thanks. I hate my Duolingo year review. You are a long streaker. You started a language learning streak that kept going and going. Thanks. I hate Wayne the Godzilla Johnson. Thanks. I hate sacrificing personal safety for this. Skull seatbelt clips silencers. Thanks. I hate slightly more realistic Pokemon. Thanks. I hate minimum maximuming wolves when you only put points in charisma and agility. Thanks. I hate a hedgehog getting an x-ray. Thanks. I hate hungry animators. I do not think people realize the horror of Chica being hungry, a robot with a deep desire for eating. Forever hungry. Imagine being a robot who has no purpose to eat and cannot eat, but you are programmed with a deep desire to eat, a unyielding craving for food you cannot consume. The madness. Shoving trash it. Oh, your robotic mouth. Trying desperately to appease your hungry programming. Forever starving. 3D tomography of a 70-year-old woman carrying her calcified son for more than 30 years in the womb. This occurs in certain cases when the fetus dies during gestation and the mother does not seek medical help. It is known as a lithopedion, stone baby. Thanks. I hate this drawing I did of SpongeBob as a low-budget adult animation. Thanks. I hate Ahegao dogs. Thanks. I hate Frosty the trans-dimensional snow being. Thanks. I hate AI-generated Pikachu. Thanks. I hate Romus the train. Thanks. I hate green goblins. Sadistic sense of humor. Thanks. I hate ham sniffing. The expert ham sniffer of Spain is at the limit of human possibility, smelling 800 hams a day to make sure they are perfect for Christmas. I will find a way to sniff 801. Perhaps 802 is possible. Think Santa is by. Sam Sniffer are pushing their noses to the limit. Thanks, I hate this art and motivational slogan. No one is coming to save you, your life is 100% your responsibility. Thanks, I hate this unstamped fork. Thanks, I hate putting eyes on amethyst. Thanks, I hate the nicely balanced score of the new Matrix movie, The Matrix Resurrections. 69%. Tomato 183 reviews. 69%. Audience score. 250 plus verified ratings. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Thanks, I hate this keyboard. Thanks, I hate self-made phone cases. Almost done with the iPad case. When the pink silicone glue turned out as bright as it did, I decided against any black or red paint washes to nasty up the teeth. It's been coated with resin, and once that cures I'll be giving it a few coats of a clear spray lacquer to fill in any gaps the resin didn't get. Try and guess how many teeth I ended up using. Thanks, I hate life. The most memorable moments in life are the phones you never planned. Thanks, I hate this face swapped. Thanks, I hate unsafe drinking water.